Welcome back to Everyday Hockey, presented by DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports. Don't forget to use promo code THPN upon sign up for a bonus, and if you're a regular user, plug that promo in for weekly deals. Today, we talk about the Montreal Canadiens punching their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. Well, Canada back hosting the Stanley Cup Finals, Dylan, and well-deserved by this unbelievable Montreal Canadiens team in the playoffs.
In the playoffs. Les Habitants have really come out in the playoffs, and it's crazy because it really does seem like the whole country is backing up this Montreal Canadiens team, and you don't typically see that when a Canadian team makes it to the final. There's a lot of, I guess, jealousy mixed into that.
Yeah, and that's a good point that you brought up because I'm Canadian, you're Canadian, and I don't want to speak for all Canadians, but for the most part, Canadians don't just jump on the Canada bandwagon and root for the Canadian team, in this case being the last Canadian team in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We stick to the teams we like. I obviously follow the Vancouver Canucks because we're BC boys, but I love the Washington Capitals. Shout out Ovechkin, greatest goal scorer of all time, or he will be. And also the Minnesota Wild. So when the Minnesota Wild were out, when the Vancouver Canucks obviously didn't make it, and the Capitals were out, I was kind of lost for a bit. And the play of the Montreal Canadiens, because full disclosure, I'm not a Canadiens fan, but the play, the type of style that they played, the adversity they had to go through, losing their coach in this round too due to COVID-19, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. You look at this team, it's not a bunch of superstars. It's not the flashy players. They're a team, though. They're deep. You look at their defense all the way through, all their pairings. They can shut you down. Throughout their lineup, you got Old Man Perry, Old Man Stahl. They're still productive right now. They're still contributing to this team, and I think that's really what makes the difference with the Montreal Canadiens and the buy-in, too. They've all bought into the process, and look what's happening.
And you mentioned Old Man Perry and some of the veterans on this team. Some of them aren't necessarily old in age, but they've been around for a while. They've been on different teams, and chemistry. I always use that word. Chemistry and good goaltending wins Stanley Cups, because you can have a great defense, you can have a great forward group, and you can have a great goaltender. We've seen this in various teams. Vegas Golden Knights are out. The Montreal Canadiens just beat them. The Colorado Avalanche are out. The Toronto Maple Leafs are out. These were all teams that everyone was saying they're the ones to bet on. They're the locks to get far in this playoffs. And a team like the Montreal Canadiens, veteran, buy-in, and just a great style of play. They're passing in deep, they're short passes. Something you pointed out to me, Dylan, was the way that they attack the play and the opponents who have the puck. You'll see two guys on there, and somehow they're not leaving any ice open, and they're still closing the neutral zone up. Yeah,
very aggressive. And, we kind of touched on this earlier in the video, but I think the difference with the Montreal Canadiens is you can't just shut one line down.
Yeah.
You can't shut one guy down because everybody's contributing. Last series, Tyler Toffoli was looking great. He hasn't put up the numbers in this series, but other guys have kind of filled that void. So I think the Montreal Canadiens are going to have a lot of success in the Stanley Cup Finals.
From Lehkonen to Paul Byron.
You got your young guys chipping into Suzuki. That kid looks unbelievable.
So smooth in his skating, and not just his skating, his skills, his hands, they kind of match that. They're not explosive, not super quick.
She has a great shot, too.
Oh, unbelievable. He's not quick and flashy like a McDavid style. He's more like Leon Draisaitl, if I'm going to throw it to that comparison. Who's flowy out there, just controls the game, is so calm, cool, and collected, weaving by players. He doesn't try too much, but he's not afraid to demonstrate his skill. All the young guys on this team, all the veterans are playing outstanding. And how about that Cole Caulfield kid? He's a stud.
Oh, unbelievable. A lot of teams are shaking their head that they didn't take him in the draft. Yeah, he's a smaller guy, but look at the wheels. Look at the shot. Difference maker in the Stanley Cup playoffs as a young guy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Again, the Montreal Canadiens, they've won me over with not only the BC boys on the team in Gallagher, Price, and Shea Weber, who we'll dive into before we end this video here. But again, it's their play that won me over. I love great hockey. I love good defensive hockey. Them and the Islanders, I'm kind of rooting for now because I think they deserve to go all the way based on them taking down the juggernauts. And I know the Islanders still have one more game at the time of this recording against the Tampa Bay Lightning, but still.
No, it'll be an interesting series if that does happen. It won't necessarily be the sexy series for the NHL, marketing-wise. But
in Canada, it will be.
In Canada, it will be. It's going to be a tight series, though, and some great hockey.
All right, before we end off, there's two more things we have to quickly hit on. Shea Weber.
Absolute beauty.
This is personal for us because, again, BC boys, the Sicamous native, but even when he was with the Nashville Predators, At that time, so almost a decade ago now, I was very firm in saying that he's the best defenseman in the National Hockey League in that era. Yes, he's lost a step. He's had various ankle surgeries and injuries there, so he's not the fastest guy, but he's still killing it this season and in these playoffs in particular. And man, he, in my opinion, is one of the greatest defensemen to play the game.
I agree. I mean, he's a personal favorite of mine. He does everything. You said it right there. And yes, his game has changed slightly because you said all the injuries. He doesn't quite have the speed that he used to.
He doesn't rush anymore.
But here's the thing. He adapted.
Yeah.
He's adapted to this new style of game. Not all players can do that, especially guys that were, superstars like Shea Weber. Not everybody can make those changes. Shea Weber has done it.
I can't wait to see him lift a cup over his head.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
His shot that he scored a goal in game 6, first goal in 18 games. It wasn't quite the 100 miles per hour going through the net like in the Olympics in 2010, but it was, I think it clocked in at like over 85 miles per hour. So the guy still got his shot from the back end.
100%. It was a classic Shea Weber shot.
Last but not least, we can't end this video without talking about the beauty himself, Marc Bergevin.
Oh, man, the red suit man himself. That red suit, I mean, I think that might be the highlight of the playoffs for me. I think Marc Bergevin might be my favorite Montreal Canadian in these entire playoffs. And just, this guy cares so much. The reaction after the game, after they won, coming down, high-fiving. I mean, I retweeted a tweet from Michael Russo saying this guy's going to hurt somebody. And he almost did, but he was just so excited. And he's been with the Montreal Canadiens for a long time. When he first joined them, he was dark hair, salt and pepper hair, looking pretty good. Now he's looking like an old crazy uncle. But
that's what a general manager job will do to you.
That's what it does to you. But you know what? It's been a roller coaster for him because I feel like when he joined, everything was promising, and then things got tough for a little while with the Montreal Canadiens, and you saw the hair starting to get grayer and grayer. But now I feel like Marc Bergevin, he's at the point where he's kind of like a crazy uncle who's maybe like gotten over the divorce, gotten all the tough parts, and now he's just loving life, running around, having a great time.
His celebrations after that game were legendary. Going down to the bench, just hugging everyone, kissing Lehkonen on the head. I mean, his suit game, his energy, his passion, both when he was a player and in the locker room in his time playing in the National Hockey League and now a general manager. And we've been critical of him in the past and some of his moves. But what I like about him is he's not a hands-on GM, like a wannabe hands-on GM, getting into things where he knows he is not an expert in. He hires the right people, and it's starting to pay off. I know it wasn't a great regular season for them, but you can't be critical of what they're doing right now. No,
absolutely. And I mean, some of the moves that the Montreal Canadiens maybe made the last offseason, there are some head scratchers, but you know what? Look at the results now. In the Stanley Cup Finals, baby.
Scale 1 to 10, how hungover is he today, Dylan?
Oh, 11.
Well, that's it for today. Tell us what trophies were in the video in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.